What it do, what it do. Welcome into The Common Fan. I'm your host, Austin Dunstan. I'm here with Braxton Teal and Nathan Massey's back to join us. Before we get into anything, let's address the sparkly elephant in the room. What's up with the fit, man?
Dude, just explain what happened.
Okay. So if you tuned in a couple weeks ago, what was it, about 3 weeks ago?
3 or 4 weeks.
We had a trivia contest where our friend Matt called in and asked a bunch of questions to me and Braxton and Massey. I think Colton was here too.
Yep.
And long story short, Braxton lost, took the L. So he spun our wheel of punishment, and the punishment was me and Massey got to go to Goodwill and pick him out a wonderful outfit. So if you'll see, why don't you go ahead and explain the outfit?
Head to toe, let's hear it. Break it down.
Break it down for us.
All right, so obviously, like you said, we went to Goodwill, and we were like, we have like 2 or 3 options here. We can just go as off the wall as possible.
Yeah.
We can go with like a themed, like a surfer or something random like that.
Skier, but
yeah,
we figured you'd die of heat stroke.
Yeah, that'd be too much. Or we could go with an outfit that was like full of stuff he hated, because one of the first things we got in there saw was an Alabama polo.
Yeah,
like
you were almost wearing completely Alabama. So
Dang, that would have been pretty good.
So
maybe next time.
So we kind of like wandered around and tried to find what we could to fit one of those 3 different categories, and we eventually just started finding the most random stuff you could possibly find. I mean, it is Goodwill. So we stuck with the off-the-wall idea, and
I had one rule. I was like, go get whatever you want, spend whatever you want. I'll wear it head to toe, but my one rule was no female clothing.
We stayed away from it for the most part.
And I feel like, honestly, if I would have done it, if I would have bought stuff for Nathan, I would have just bought like a straight-up dress.
I wanted to get you this beautiful blouse, man. It was like a tank top. It was see-through, and it had just Tennessee, like power tees all over it.
It was actually kind of a nice.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a nice shirt.
Yeah, it's something that, after the show you could have given to your wife as a present.
I don't know. I might have kept it, nips flying.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, this would be legendary.
Yeah.
And we remembered, no female clothing. So we got you the sparkly fedora. It was between the fedora and a top hat.
Yeah, that was
so close.
That was
to a top
honestly
hat.
the hardest decision the whole day, and it was one of the last things we came across, because we were wandering through like the clothing sections, and then eventually we were like, dude, we got to get him a hat.
Yeah.
Like there has to be a hat. And we wandered over, and the first thing we found was a top hat, and we didn't even see that at first, and we kind of wandered off, found some more clothing, decided between that pretty easily, and then made it back over there for some reason. And I just so happened to see the glimmer of that beautiful, beautiful hat that's on your head, and I looked at Dunstan.
Miss it?
It was
hidden.
It was hidden pretty well, but
so
we went digging. We were there for probably an hour.
Yeah.
This is what we came up with.
I looked at Dunstan, and I just went, Dunstan, this is it. And then he was like, what? And I like pointed at that. He's like, that's it. That's it.
We had to do it to you, man.
Well,
but, we didn't go too super awful. I mean, it's pretty awful. I would never wear it, but.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I may wear it again.
I bet you will not.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we kind of have a themed episode for y'all this week. It was the 4th of July, last Saturday.
Let's go.
Happy 4th. Happy birthday, America. But we kind of wanted to stay on topic of the 4th of July. We have a Roman candle here. That's what I bought, and I didn't get to shoot it off. So here it is. We're gonna mix it though with an old segment called Overhyped and Underrated. Some of you might remember it, but basically we're doing Overhyped, Underrated 4th of July edition. Okay, so whatever you can think of, 4th of July. I'll start it off.
Okay, what you got?
Let me pull up my notes so I don't get it wrong though. Okay, so first I'm going to go overhyped, and when I say overhyped, I mean like I cannot stand when this happened, and people love to do it. So I just have filming fireworks.
Ooh,
and I put in parentheses over filming. Okay, what I mean by that is if you go to a fireworks show and you film every single firework that goes off and you put it on your Snapchat story, there's a 10 out of 10 chance I'm deleting you off Snapchat. Like, I hate it. They all look the same, and, like, I get a picture. Like, a picture is one thing. Like, oh, look, I'm at a fireworks show. But if it's, like, 10 minutes of just explosions on your Snapchat story, I'm going to delete you. So stop doing that. I hate it.
That's like the same thing people do with, like, concerts. You see that a lot with concerts.
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
yes. Oh, throw that in there, too. It's not 4th of July related, but stop filming concerts. It's so dumb.
Just stop
Every
filming things
second.
that anybody can go see with just a click on their phone and get on YouTube. Just stop posting it everywhere, please.
It's ridiculous. Okay, but anyway, sorry.
I mean, if you want to throw up a little boom, that's cute.
Yeah.
But like you said, 20 minutes of it, no.
Too much.
Ridiculous.
Way
Quit
too
that.
much.
Just cut
You know
it
what?
out.
I'm going to just take it right from there.
Okay,
and
go for
I
it.
may offend some of our viewers, and our DMs may blow up, and I'm okay with that.
Yes.
But overhyped in general. Fireworks in general, to me,
Really?
are overhyped.
Just
Interesting.
fireworks, period.
Well, I feel like going to a fireworks show is completely different than going to a tent and spending $200, $300 to have a 30-second firework display in your backyard.
We definitely
So-
didn't spend like $15 to $20 each at the fireworks stand the other day.
Yeah,
And you bought what? Those little poppers
Cracker
you can throw on the
poppers.
ground?
little poppers.
Dude, they're torpedoes.
I don't
Torpedoes.
think I've ever been to a fireworks tent where I've spent probably under $50.
Yeah.
And you buy a bunch of pointless stuff, you light it, it explodes, and then you're like, well, what do I do now?
Super underwhelming.
Yes.
Like you spend all that money and
Yes.
it's like, "Choo, pow," and you're like, that was
right.
$150.
Exactly.
Okay, I get that. Like,
Yep.
so it's like
Fireworks, overhyped. That's
fireworks by yourself, not fireworks shows.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Personal
I
use
respect
of
that.
fireworks, no.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't do it at all. If my kids one day beg me for fireworks, I hate it for them. What you got, Nate?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stick on the theme of fireworks, like strictly fireworks here. So I'm going underrated, and hear me out on this. The memories of almost blowing stuff up with fireworks. I know everybody has
Everybody's got a
some really
story.
good
Oh,
story about
yeah.
how they lit something, it fell over, they almost blew something else up that was completely off the wall. So I think that underrated are memories of lighting fireworks and them going off where they're not supposed to.
Yeah, the most distinct memory I have is with Braxton, actually. We were at his old house, and we lit a firework, just like you said, tipped over, and it shot right at all of us, man. I hid behind a cooler. It burned my shirt. Everybody was freaking out. It was
A
bad.
crowd of 20 just went swarming.
I think the most memorable one for me was we lit one, and it was one of those ones that has like a round. It's just got like the tubes, and it shoots off like 6 or 8 of them. First 2 shot off, we were like, oh, it's so cool, like it's so pretty. And then the third one shot one direction. It's so pretty.
Oh my God.
And then the third one shot to the right, and we were like, oh, that's not okay. And then the fourth one shot to the left.
Yeah.
And then the fifth one shot directly at the entire group. And that was about the moment where everybody just scattered like we were talking about.
I feel like everyone has a story of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to go again, and I have underrated.
Okay.
Okay? And this one's kind of random because it's kind of a skill, okay? Being able to chug a 1 liter of Smirnoff Ice freezing cold. Okay? Like all my boys back in Cookeville, man, they were chugging those red, white, and berry ones, the blue ones, you know? And they couldn't do it. And I was just like, it takes a lot of skill to be able to get on one knee and it's freezing cold and chug that whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like you're really good at it or you're not.
Oh yeah, I
There's
can
no
do it.
middle ground.
I can do it. It's pretty, but it's like
Really?
chugging a Sprite. Like
Yeah.
that's it, like a McDonald's Sprite.
Yeah.
And the ones that they're spicy. Like I don't know how it's spicy, but you know what I mean.
Spicy.
It makes your like tongue spicy.
All right.
It doesn't matter. But anyway, being able to chug 1 liter of Smirnoff Ice.
Okay. So socials this week, we'll follow that up.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. We can
Good
do that.
deal.
For sure, we can do it.
All right, so underrated for me is something I discovered yesterday because up until yesterday, I would have said this was completely overhyped. But I had probably the best snow cone of my life yesterday, and it was really, really good.
Where did you get it from?
Okay, so we went to a fireworks show. Again, I didn't buy anything. Went to a fireworks show, and I stood in line for a snow cone. First off, the wait time to get a snow cone should be no more than like 2 minutes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
stood in line
that's-
for
yeah.
45 minutes to get a snow cone.
I would have left after 10.
Yeah, that would've
I'd
been
been
way
like,
too
this
much
is
for me.
not worth it.
I had my wife just begging for one, so there we were. But
Makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
and we
Can't blame
got
you there.
it was like a food truck, snow cone truck, whatever you want to call it. You literally
Oh.
pour liquid on a thing of ice and you hand it out the door.
Oh.
And this dude was like reading children's books like as you order. Like he was a completely out of left field, took forever. But
Right.
honestly, the best snow cone I've ever had.
Huh.
If I ever see the truck again, depending on the line size, I'd go back.
All right, so
Interesting.
quick question
Okay.
on the snow cone. What is y'all's favorite flavor of snow cone?
Freaking blue raspberry.
Ooh, that was pretty good.
All day.
I
All day.
got cotton candy last night, and it was really, really good.
I was about to say, I'd either have to go cotton candy or just straight up cherry.
I feel like watermelon's also very, very good. But
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
What you got? What you
Massey,
got?
give us one more, then we'll take it to a break.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go with overhyped here,
Okay.
and this kind of hits close to home on this one
Okay.
for a few of us in this room. Overhyped, friends with boats on 4th of July, because you get excited when your friends invite you on their boats,
Yup.
but nothing matches the absolute sadness and just like I have nothing else to do with my life moment
not
of
getting an
not getting
invite.
invited, especially when multiple of your friends have boats.
Oh yeah. Speaking of one's wearing a sparkly fedora
Yeah.
right now.
That
Has a
guy.
boat. Never
Salty
been
he
on
didn't
it.
get an invite.
Oh yeah. Another one is named Matt Joslin.
Yeah.
Matt Joslin never invites us on a boat. You have a boat.
Not that it doesn't run right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never been invited to go on the boat. Just saying, but I agree. 100%
Yeah.
overhyped. Friends with boats.
I think, and plus, I think that like even if I did have a boat, like it should be me on the boat. Like there was a whole group on all these other boats, and you see all over you see all these Snapchats, everything. It's like friends. Like I'm not gonna go be the sad guy sitting on the boat by myself in
Yeah.
the middle of the lake.
That
Like,
is-
Instead, he was the sad guy sitting in his living room with nothing to do. So
Anyway,
hey, that's cheaper than sitting on the boat by yourself.
we're gonna take it to a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm already sweating.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. But while I got your attention, just go ahead and follow us on Twitter at The Common Fan, Insta at The Common Fan Official, YouTube at The Common Fan Official as well, and all podcast forums at The Common Fan.
What it is, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with the Common Fan. We are going to change pace a little bit from the 4th of July and go into more of a sporty topic here. We're going to go into trades and transfer.
Yes.
So,
Our bread and butter.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, we, as you can see, like on social media and everything, you see that all the time, how you're seeing all these people like, oh, this guy wants a trade, this guy's requesting a trade and everything. And we just
Yep.
got to thinking the other day, we got to talking about it, like, I feel like you didn't used to see that. And obviously with social media blowing up, like that's a huge thing now for people to tweet it out or I think there was a video of Jamal Adams, I believe, driving through a parking lot the other day and somebody's like, come to the Cowboys. And he's like, I'm working on it. And it's
Yeah.
like, you would never see that back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just wanted to have a discussion about that and like what everybody's thoughts on it were. So
It's
Yeah.
just 100% a culture now. You know, it
Yeah.
used to be, obviously social media is the big driving factor of that, but now it is, you know, you have the transfer portal, you've got trades, you've got more angry fans, internet trolls than you've ever had.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so much more than it ever used to be.
For sure. That kind of that brings me to a question for both of you guys. Let's get into the transfer portal first. What
Okay.
is your take on the transfer portal? Do you like it? Do you
Personally-
hate it? What do you think?
Personally, for me, I like it. I think it's a very clear, concise system. I think it makes it a lot easier for someone that's maybe coming out of like a smaller D1 to go up a stage, or even if someone is at a larger D1 but they want more playing time or things of like that. It kind of eliminates the hunt and the 100 phone calls a day you have to make to try to get your name out there to some of these places.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it's very clean and orderly, and I think that helps the system.
Okay. What about you, Massey?
I think it's kind of a dependent on the case basis. I think that it's a good idea in theory. Now, do I think that the execution on it is all that great? Sometimes yes, excuse me, sometimes no.
Yeah.
Like you see, like we talking about this the other day when we first brought this up, like there are players that are getting immediate eligibility and there are players that are getting to transfer for the dumbest reasons
Yes,
ever. And then you're
100%.
also
Yeah.
seeing players like I think there was a tight end maybe or a defensive end that was from, I believe, Virginia Tech, and he wanted to move back home because his grandfather was dying, and they told him that wasn't a good enough reason. So like I understand that you can't just let anybody and everybody go.
Yeah.
But if you are, then some of the players that are leaving now and are getting immediate transfer eligibility, that they don't meet those requirements either.
Yeah.
I think the idea of the portal is great. I think where the issue arises, and it's the issue for thousands of things, but it's simply the NCAA.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
allowing eligibility for some when they don't for others, even though they're very clear in terms of what the reasonings are and things of that sort. It's ultimately a dollar thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it might go better if there was like a set, like there was no appeals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
have to sit out a year. It doesn't matter what it is, or you don't have to sit out a year.
Right.
But for me, I would hate it if you didn't have to sit out a year, because since the transfer portal I think it came in 2018, it's just become a normal thing for people to transfer. It's
100%.
become
Right.
so normal. I mean, it's just seems so rare that you get a commit and you get him signed and he stays for all 3 years if he gets drafted or 4 years.
Sure.
It seems like, well, yes, we got this guy for now, but, if there's a coaching change, we're going to lose him. And I just hate that. I loved when people committed to your school and you had them. You got to watch them progress as a player, as a person, and then, but all of a sudden the transfer portal comes and that's just almost gone to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And that's what I can't stand. I have a stat here before, I don't know what it is now, but before the transfer portal, 4.1% of student athletes, college football, D1, they transferred. Only 4.1%.
Wow.
And there's no way. Like, it's so much
that's got to be
higher
like
now.
30.
Yeah,
Oh,
no way.
it's because it's just it's the transfer portal. And so for that reason, I really don't like it.
So just posing a question to both of you guys, what would you say are acceptable reasons to transfer?
Okay. Acceptable for me, family reasons for sure.
Okay.
Family's always first. Like,
Okay.
if you've got stuff, if you decide to go to the University of Hawaii and you're from Tennessee and you're like, well, I kind of want to go back home. I want to go to middle because, my mom's sick or whatever. That's a good reason.
Okay.
But just because, you feel like you're not getting playing time, like, I don't like that reason personally.
No, I completely
Because
agree.
that's where great football teams excel. They have depth. People that don't get playing time, they're probably just as good as the guy above them. However, they're not going to get to play, but those people stay there, like at Bama.
They wait their turn.
They wait their turn,
Yeah.
and that's how you build a great football team, and that's just not really happening anymore.
Yeah,
But
I think
anyway.
that's why you see a lot of the you have your consistent powerhouses like at the top, but then
Yeah.
I think that's another reason you see like a lot of the runs for certain teams of like they've got this really good up and coming coach and they can recruit and they can coach and they've got everybody sold on this idea and they all come in and then the coach leaves. And I understand transferring if a coach leaves. Like that would to answer your question, that's one of my main reasons. If
Okay.
your coach leaves, I believe you should be able to, because I think it's very hypocritical to where why can a coach go take the highest paying gig if you can't go to the next best school for you?
Yeah.
So to me, I agree and disagree 100%. I
Okay.
think, Nathan, you're right. Austin, you're wrong.
You think I'm wrong? Okay, what's up?
So first off, coach reasons, say you get drafted or you don't get drafted, you get recruited by a coach that runs a pro style offense.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You're a pro style quarterback. And then you have a new coach that comes in that runs a spread and it just doesn't fit you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you are building your brand. And for a lot of these kids, it's their chance to make it in life.
Yeah.
These 4 years are their audition to be able to supply food and money to their families. Ultimately, you're getting an education, sure, but for a lot of these kids, ultimately, if you go to the league, you're good. If you don't, you're not.
Yeah.
And you're kind of trying to break your cycle. So I think if you're not getting playing time, and you should wait it out. It should be more than like I'm not playing through spring practice, I better go hop on somewhere else. But a year or two, I think, you should have that opportunity to go somewhere where you can at least make a name for yourself. If it's a smaller school, it's a smaller school. What I hate personally is seeing the transfers within conference and within like same level and things of that sort.
Yeah, I get that. And let me say, I get what you're saying, right? However, it's the ones that go their freshman year and they get redshirted and are pissed because they get redshirted and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what
I'm
I
out
hate.
immediately.
And also, I had a thought and it totally just left me.
Well,
based on coaches, real quick. In my opinion, I like the players that commit to a school. Okay? Like if you guys committed to Mississippi State and you committed to like Tennessee, does it really matter who the coach is? Like that's who you want to play for.
No, because it's the Vols.
See, exactly. So like I like when players commit to a school.
And that makes sense.
But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead,
That makes
Massey.
sense.
All right, so something that we were kind of touched on a little bit. I don't think either of y'all realize it. I think that there should be past like once you accept and like mandate what allows you to transfer. I think that there should almost be like 2 tiers of transferring. Where like tier 1 is your coach changes, in your case where you say like family reasons, whatever they decide upon. Now, if it's the tier 2 where you don't like the playing time, you don't like the scheme, you don't like what you didn't fit, you don't like the classes, whatever else.
Yeah.
I think that the tier 2 should be like, okay, you can transfer, but if you want to be immediately eligible, you must drop a division. So you could go from like FBS to FCS or FCS to Division 2, or if you really wanted to, like go from FBS to Division 2. Like if that's just what you feel like your fit is, like somebody commits to an FBS school, like a lower tier FBS school, and they think that they're all good, and then they get there and realize they're not what they thought they were.
Yeah.
And they're like, maybe we fit in better at Division II, and I can stand out and get drafted by the Patriots because that's what they like to find in the draft.
Yeah.
Then that may fit better, and then you can be immediately eligible. But if you're transferring within conference, or even like you see like Tate Martell is a good example, somebody that was at Ohio State and then transferred to Miami because he was just upset with his playing time and like all the transfers coming in, which obviously started the problem. But you can't transfer to Miami and immediately play. You need to transfer and have to sit out because if you're upset with playing time. But like he was somebody that was granted immediate eligibility, and like what did he how did he really earn that?
He earned it because he had a following. He earned it because he was
Yes.
on a Netflix TV show.
Exactly.
But ultimately, what you just said, I think Austin and I should celebrate because he finally said something that makes sense. But no, I couldn't agree more. I think the tiers, it makes sense to me. I think moving up or down a division is a great way of, bettering your brand and things of that sort.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's ultimately TV. It's building your personal brand of reasons of why some people are getting these eligibility immediately and why others are not. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we were going to get into trades, and we're almost out of time, but I know you have a lot of research, so I want you to get into trades in the NFL. Go ahead.
All right, so just on
don't rush yourself either. If we go over, it's not a big deal.
All right, so on the trade culture, you see all these people, like we were talking about earlier with social media and everything, and everybody's tweeting all these things out. I just kind of wanted to discuss the fact of, like, how much has that changed in recent years of, like, what you're talking about with college athletes, like, building their brand. And then you see guys like Jalen Ramsey, who has a big following. He's a very outspoken individual, very, very good ball player. And then he can just get on there and crap talk anybody he wants to, and then gets traded, and all of a sudden he's in a better situation.
Yeah.
I think that there's rights and the wrongs to that. I think that if you're a very good ball player, you don't like the system that you're under, similar to what we were talking about with the transfers, you should be able to leave. But do I think you should handle it a lot more respectively? And do I think that you should not crap talk to coaches? Because, like, most of the time you see all accorded like random head coaches that nobody likes. But like for the most part, if there's a coach that's liked by somebody, he's disliked by somebody else. Yeah. So you shouldn't be able to go out there and completely taint the reputation of some coach just because you don't agree with him.
Yeah.
So like you see like Yannick Ngakoue got into a Twitter beef with the president of the Jaguars.
Yeah, man. I think that since the rise of social media, trades in the NFL have just become so publicized that it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's like not as exciting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like whenever we used to like land a trade to be like, oh, this is huge.
This is huge.
Who knew? But then you'll like you said, you'll see somebody tweet, on Twitter and be like, hey, I hate this place. I'm not playing here. I want to trade. And you're like, well, crap.
There goes the mystery.
There goes the mystery of what's going to happen. Is he going to? No, like he's not going to be there.
And what you said, like taking away from the specialness of it. According to NFLTradeRumors.com, in 2019, there were 103 trades in the NFL. So that's that's a lot of careers being changed.
Just in 2019 alone?
Yeah, according to this
That's
website.
ridiculous.
It was throughout the off season, the season, and a little bit into the postseason.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a signal, okay? So we got to stop it here because we're going to cut off cameras. But we'll be right back with more Common Fan right after this.
Play that. All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the Common Fan. And as we mentioned before, 4th of July weekend, so we want to stick on that 4th of July theme.
Absolutely.
And what is more American than seeing how many hot dogs you can fit down your gizzard in 10 minutes?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
There's
absolutely nothing. So obviously July 4th, they have the Nathan's hot dog eating contest every year. I don't know
Shout
if
out
you've ever
me.
tried it.
Shout
I
out.
would never try it personally. But hot dog eating and just competitive eating in general,
Yeah.
something very American.
Absolutely, man. I that is the pinnacle of 4th of July for me.
100%.
Is watching Joey Chestnut devour 75 hot dogs.
We address how sad of a statement that really is.
Dude,
like not for you individually,
true.
but just like
I get
this is
that.
for our country and for America. And we're like, dude, I'm so excited to see how many hot dogs this guy can eat. It's like,
Okay,
what?
So I was actually super upset because, as you guys know, I'm the degenerate bettor.
Yeah.
And I was going to slam Joey Chestnut over 73 and a half hot dogs. I was 2 minutes late, and he ate 75.
Really?
I was so
2
upset.
minutes late?
2 minutes late, and I was so upset. But he set a world record, 75 hot dogs.
I don't know if
75.
I've eaten 75 hot dogs in my life.
In my life. I can guarantee you right now I've never eaten 75 in my life.
Like, I think I
I
maybe
definitely have. I love hot dogs.
I think I
could
may
probably
be
eat
pushing
10.
it, but like that's max.
No, I'm like at like 15, 20
I'm
tops.
well over 75 hot dogs.
But obviously, Joey Chestnut, if you're viewing this, which you're not, you're the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Good job.
But one thing I wanted to talk about until we kind of delve into Joey Chestnut was, did
Yeah.
you know they had a female hot dog eating competition before the males
Yes.
every
I did
July
not.
4th?
Yes, I
'Cause
did.
I didn't know that.
I can't think of the girl's name that always wins it.
I've got it. It's Miki Sudo.
Yes, Mickey Sudo. She's
Yes,
a beast.
absolute
Yes.
So she
You
holds like the
described as a
world.
beast, just being able to eat that many hot dogs.
Could you do that?
I mean, no.
Not a beast.
So when I think of this
Fair.
girl, like
Fair
I
point.
had no picture when I like was reading this article. I had no idea what she looked like.
Yeah.
And I had some negative connotations of what she
Yeah,
may look
right.
like.
Of course, as you would, as
But
that makes
I
sense.
Googled it, and it's like this little tiny Japanese
Yep.
blonde lady.
That's that's how like even Joey Chestnut and what's the other competitor that usually pushes him a little
I
bit.
have no
there
one
used
pushed
to be
him.
Kobayashi.
Yeah,
Remember that guy?
Kobayashi.
Oh, yeah.
Those are
okay.
both like surprisingly skinnier
Very
individuals
nice.
than you would
Very
than you would
skinny, yeah.
imagine. Like they're not like stick and bones, but I mean like they're
Right.
smaller than you'd
Kobayashi's
expect.
tiny, dude. And
Yeah.
apparently that him and Joey Chestnut like can't stand each other. They like hate each
I
other.
believe it, man. They're like rivals.
There's
but
hot dog beef, man.
Hot dog beef.
But Miki Sudo, so she ate 48 and a half hot dogs and buns to break her own world record.
Yup.
Second place in the competition this past year, ate 18 hot dogs.
That's
She would smoke the three of us combined.
Oh,
ridiculous.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched it? Like, do you,
Yeah.
It's repulsive,
It is
honestly.
kind of disgusting
It's pretty
how they
bad.
do it because they're like always jumping, and they like dipping the buns in the water.
Yep.
The soggy buns, I'm out on the soggy
No.
buns. I love hot dogs as much as the next guy. No soggy buns.
The
for
best
Dustin.
part to me is the intros.
Well,
They like pull them through the crowd. They all have their walkout music
Yeah,
and they're,
dude.
Joey
Chestnut, dude. I think we're not going to Joey Chestnut yet, right?
I mean, we can.
Okay.
I mean,
Did you see how many? So he ate 75. Did you know how many
75.
came in second? Who came in second?
42.
42.
42.
So he smoked him.
Yeah.
75, 42.
Okay, so I
that
have a-
is ridiculous.
So I have a question here.
Yeah.
So if you're Joey Chestnut, right? I mean, you've
I wish.
hit the peak of
He's won 13.
hot dog. Yeah, I mean, like you were the guy.
Yeah.
Do you think you ever like show up one year and you're like, I'm ahead by 20. I could just like flaunt and pull like a Usain Bolt. Like remember when Usain Bolt pulled up at the end of his race and still set a world record? Like,
Yeah.
do you think he just chills and like
Probably
eats
not
so
for
many?
him. I feel like because personally, he's trying to just break his world record every year. So, like,
Yeah.
I think for him, there is no hitting a yellow light and just coming to a stop. It's just
But, like
it's
how
going
big of a
full fledged.
How big of a flex would that be though? To where you're like, so what? How many minutes do they get?
10.
10. So say you get into
So
the
like
eighth
7.5
minute.
minutes. he
Yeah, you
just
get like
sits
7.5
down.
minutes,
That
and
would
like
be
everybody
sick.
else is still like pounding away hot dogs, and then you're just like, good
Jeez.
job, ladies and gentlemen, congrats, you came in not first again.
Yeah, he could easily do that.
I think
Dude,
that'd be a
but-
bigger flex than hitting.
So you know those
74.
restaurants that you like walk into and it's like if you can finish this in 30 minutes, it's
Oh,
free.
Yep.
How
This
often-
dude doesn't have to pay for a meal like
Oh,
ever
man.
if he
No
didn't want
chance. I mean, I used to I was a big man versus food guy.
to. Really?
Oh,
You
that's
guys
a
ever
good one.
watch that?
That's a good
a little
one.
bit, yeah.
Man, and I used to think I could do that. I could totally eat the freaking Sasquatch burger, which is like 40 hamburgers, but there's literally no chance on earth I could do. I don't know how they do it.
No.
It doesn't make sense to me.
How long would it take y'all to recover from eating 75 hot dogs?
I would go yak immediately.
I mean, yeah, but like I feel like I'd just be groggy for like 4 days.
I probably wouldn't feel bad for my toilet. I'd feel bad for my septic tank. Awful.
I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that, like recovery time for a
Yeah,
hot dog
I
eating
mean-
champion.
So I
'Cause, like,
saw,
go ahead.
I saw like how they train.
Yeah.
Have you seen how they train? They
No.
probably like don't eat for like a week or anything like that. The only thing I could find in terms of training is they will literally like chug a gallon of water,
Water, yeah.
to like expand their stomach.
Yep.
Okay, so what you just started with, they probably don't eat for a week.
Yeah.
They say that's the worst thing you can do for those types
Really?
of
'Cause your
things because
stomach
your
shrinks up.
stomach like shrinks up. So like
Yeah.
you would think like, oh, I'm just not gonna eat for 3 days and I'll be so hungry I'll eat everything. And that's like what happens to people with like, I haven't eaten all day, and then they eat like a hamburger and they're like, I'm so full, I can't even move. And it's like,
Jesus.
so they have to eat that much like consistently for over a period of time to be able to do that.
Yeah. Did you guys know that it's not just hot dogs They
Oh, yeah.
competitively eat.
Yeah,
Go
lots
ahead.
of things.
Go ahead. What
I
do you
wrote
have
down a
any more?
list of just some random ones,
Yeah.
but just some hot ones. Buffet. They have like literally just a general buffet that you have to make
Wow.
a plate and just go for it.
Which, by the way, buffets are amazing.
Chili,
Facts.
wings, shrimp, some weird ones to you. Butter. Literally
Butter?
just sticks of butter.
Oh, I don't know about that
Sticks
one.
of butter. I was going through
no.
like the world championships and like the world titles.
That's disgusting.
Mayo, just jars of mayo.
I could do jar of mayo.
No.
I
This is
love
getting
mayonnaise.
worse.
Just, oh yeah, 100%. I love
What is
mayonnaise.
wrong with you?
So my personal favorite, Crystals.
Crystal burgers.
Crystal burgers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what the record is on that.
I got you right here.
Dude, my boy, it's the sparkly fedora. Came
Yep.
prepared.
103 crystals in 8 minutes.
103.
Yes.
That is so
Dude,
disgusting.
they should
That
just
is
the trophy
awful.
should just say "Welcome to diabetes."
I know, but like,
Bro.
imagine. I couldn't imagine eating that much food. Like, I eat 2 hot dogs, and you're like, oh god,
Bro, I go
feel
through 6
disgusting.
crystals and I'm like ready for death.
Yeah, you feel awful about yourself. You're
Yes.
just like, man, I cannot believe because it's crystal. It kind of has a negative connotation.
Bro, we used to
Yeah.
go to little crystal story for you.
All right.
So my buddy Doug Heath, I don't know if he watches, but Doug Heath back in college,
He
we
better.
used to go to. We both played baseball for Berry, and we would go get crystal cleanouts.
What
What was
A
that?
crystal cleanout.
is that like? Made you like go poo poo?
Yeah, so like if you were in a slump and you had a bad game and you just need to flush your system, we used to go get a sack full of crystals and just go for it.
God.
And yeah,
I hope I never reach the point of my baseball career where I'm like, you know what, I need to clean myself out with crystals.
Crystal burgers.
Like that may be the day where I sit down and I'm like, maybe it's just not for me anymore.
bro. I think the all-time worst is we were like one day we're like, hey, and this was casual. Like we weren't playing bad, we didn't need to clean out, but we were like, you know what, Crystal sounds pretty good today. And we went to Crystal and got like a big old sack full of crystals and just chowed through them. And we got a text that apparently like a freshman had got caught drinking on campus. So they're like, everybody at the field by like 4 p.m.
No
and we're
way.
coming to run polls about 30 minutes after 7 crystals.
Oh,
Yeah.
How did that go?
I threw up.
That was probably the end of the crystal clean out.
Yeah. it was-
Yeah, I don't think
It was
I'm gonna
over
clean
from
out
then on out.
Yeah, that'd be the automatic end for that.
I think beyond crystals, like there's one that I have watched, and it was Hostess mini donuts.
Ooh.
And it is I don't know. I wish I had it on me because I didn't even think about looking it up because I'm very unprepared as usual. But like, I feel like I could eat a lot of Hostess mini donuts.
Okay,
So
that
there's no
leads-
telling how many.
that leads me to a question. So kind of a two-parter very quickly. What do you think would be the like best competition that they maybe don't have, and what do you think you could compete in the best?
I was gonna ask that. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, y'all go first. Let me think on it for a minute.
I know what I could compete the best in.
What is Pop Tarts?
Nope. Okay, that was a good one. But nope. Hot donuts, like hot Krispy Kreme
Oh, yeah,
donuts.
yeah.
I think I could mess up an unhealthy amount of hot Krispy Kreme donuts. And then something I think that they should add would be like chicken nuggets from McDonald's.
Bro, I bet they have it.
Yeah.
They have to.
I mean,
have it.
there's probably somewhere, but it's not as notarized as some of the other ones.
Ooh.
I really don't know.
What about you, Braxton? Do you have
I
one?
have no idea.
I know I'm never beating Joey Chestnut or any coming close. I really think I could eat a lot of hot dogs. Like actually.
I just feel like your competition would be so stiff.
Oh yeah, I know. I wouldn't be able to like compete, but like I can down a hot dog. Not like Joey Chestnut, and I not told you no soggy buns. No soggy buns. But I could eat a
Really?
decent amount of
Oh,
hot
man.
dog. Oh yeah. More than anybody you know probably. Not like no personally.
Our
For sure,
socials
that's
are going to be spicy this week.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Somebody's
I
going
could
to be
eat-
challenging
They're like,
you.
I challenge you and eat 37 hot dogs. You're like, God.
What's crazy to me in all that is the girl, if she would have went up in the men's division, she would have finished second.
Yeah.
And another thing I looked
That's
up,
elite.
you know, like these guys are like not necessarily training, but they're training. They do different competitions throughout the year. Grand prize is 10 grand. I figured it'd be far more than that.
Wait, 10
They have
grand
to
for
have
eating
side
hot
jobs.
dogs?
Yeah, Nathan's first prize 10 grand, second place 5 grand. That's
Wow.
what it's been forever.
Huh. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, not gonna
it-
do it anytime soon.
Yeah, whenever you first said it, I was like, that's a lot. But then I realized, like, it's a pretty big stage. It's a lot to deal with. I don't know.
So where do y'all think these people work?
I wonder if they have day jobs.
They have to.
Joey Chestnut, there's no way he does.
No.
Everybody
like-
knows who he is. He's
Yeah,
probably got
but, like-
sponsorships. I mean,
But what
he's
is
probably got a
he-
hot dog shaped bus that he drives everywhere.
But like, what do you think
He just
he's sponsored
drives
by?
the Nathan's hot dog.
That would be
That's his
great.
vehicle.
That would be great.
That's probably him. All right.
I got you.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up this segment. We'll be back with we're doing show and tell this week. It's been a while. Braxton's gonna give us some show and tell.
Let's go.
We'll be right back. The Common Fan is brought to you by Waltz Free Hand Sanitizing Lotion. It protects you up to 4 times longer than gel and won't crack or dry your hands. Try it out at store.avcare.com. All right, guys, welcome back into the Common Fan. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Waltz Free Hand Sanitizing Lotion. I've explained it time and time again, but this stuff is actually pretty great. So what it is it's lotions that sanitizes your hands. So it doesn't have alcohol in it. It kills coronavirus, actually.
That's right.
Fun fact, kills it, and it will not crack or dry your hands. So be sure to visit store.avcare.com. Use code TCF for 5% off your purchase. Support the boys, support the brand, Waltz Free. All right, so we're finally here, and we're finally back to kind of an old school Common Fan. We've got show and tell, and I'm going to go ahead and just kick it to you, Brax. What do you got for us, man?
Show and tell. So if you're a viewer of this show, you know right now that I am not scared to dive into the deep holes, and there's no deeper hole than that of space.
Great intro.
Great way
Magical.
to introduce that one, man. Okay, go ahead.
Just going into
Space.
if you had the opportunity to
Okay.
not necessarily go full-fledged into space, but go into space, would you take the opportunity?
Ooh, probably.
Probably?
Yes. Wait, do I have to like pay for it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends how expensive.
Okay. What
Like
do
if
you
it's
got?
like super expensive, no.
As of like right now, no shot.
No
You wouldn't go
shot?
to space?
No.
Interesting.
man, I'd
You
go.
know all the things that could go wrong before you even get to space, let alone once you're up there.
Okay, think of dying like in a car wreck or dying in a spaceship, right?
But think about how many
That'd
movies.
be a cool way to go.
How
Definitely
many
make national news with that one.
Exactly,
But
man.
how many movies depict you dying in space compared to how many depict you coming back from space?
I can't think of any. Interstellar, everybody comes back except for, I'm not going to, spoiler. Oh my God, I almost did.
Back on topic.
Sorry.
All right, so there's this new company out there. I actually saw it on the local news a couple nights ago, but it's called Space Perspective. And Space Perspective,
You got it.
what they do more or less is they have created this idea where they have this 360, it looks kind of like a teardrop. It's this glass sphere that you're in,
Right, okay.
And it's connected to a massive, for lack of better words, hydrogen weather balloon that carries you up to the edge of space.
And this is where I hear
Yes.
why I said no. Do you want to change your answer now?
That's a little bit different method than I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Welcome to your
man.
death hot
So-
air balloon.
Okay, go ahead.
What they do, more or less, you get in this thing, and the balloon takes you to the edge of space. Edge of space for them, target is 100,000 feet above the air, which is about 19 miles. And at that, you're kind of right past our ozone layer, so you can actually see like the curvature in the Earth, but you're not far enough to be like sucked into gravitational pulls and like out of. Yeah, you're not floating, but
I think Dunson's slowly being convinced that his answer should have been no.
Okay,
I think that's what's happening right now.
Going to space in a rocket or going to space being carried by a balloon? All right, we're going. No, that's not even
it's
the
a
same.
piloted balloon.
It's still a balloon.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry.
Either
continue.
way,
I
you're
keep
in this
interrupting.
sphere,
Right.
and basically they're designed to have 8 passengers and 1 pilot. The total ride takes about 6 hours, with 2 of those hours being you at, your 100,000 feet where you can just sit up there and enjoy. I don't know.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
But so they have a bathroom, Wi-Fi, and a full bar.
Okay,
On
wait. We'll run that back.
Things may have shifted.
I need to see a picture of this. I have a weird picture. of it in my
Yeah.
mind.
We'll
Doesn't make
try to
sense.
post a picture on social.
I'll try to throw one up. I'm gonna throw one up right there.
Yeah.
Let's hope I can do
Where?
it. If there's nothing, right there. Right there.
But either way.
Maybe over here. I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way, they carry you up. You basically sit up there for a couple hours, and then you float back down, and you land in the ocean.
No.
You wouldn't do it. I would 100%.
You would do it? How much does it
Yes.
cost? How much does it
All right,
cost?
$125,000 a person.
All right, if Okay.
Not
We're
only
gonna
would
start a GoFundMe.
Send Braxton to
all
space.
we need is $125K to send Braxton to space.
We get that one donor, and I'm up there.
Dude, we're gonna do it.
So
Actually, we're gonna
their
send you to
website
space.
reads that they can host like art shows and weddings and
The
all this
common
other stuff.
fan
Oh, they have Wi-Fi.
from
from
space.
space. We'd have to say like that every time. Be like the bullpen from space.
From space.
Go ahead. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I don't think I would go. But
You would go.
Yeah.
See, I'm envisioning like I don't know if either of y'all have seen the 100, just as like a visual for it.
Yeah.
So like I'm just imagining like obviously a lot smaller version, but like that kind of being like the futuristic look of it. And obviously you're only up there for 6 hours, so it's different than the show on Netflix. But like I just don't see that being like a realistically like safe transportation.
I mean, to me, I think it's a lot safer than a rocket. So there's another company out there that I think the ticket price is around $500,000 to take a ride to basically the same spot and then come back down.
On a rocket?
But you have a rocket. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think the balloon's a lot safer.
The balloon is a...
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, have you ever heard... Okay, a plane got taken down by geese in the Hudson River landing. Imagine what a goose would do to a balloon.
Yeah, whatever.
What do you mean, yeah,
Or
whatever?
just like,
What do
or
you mean?
any sharp object
Oh
of
my
any
gosh.
kind.
This isn't like your balloon you buy from the Dollar General. I'm sure it's like reinforced.
Oh, thank God. If this balloon's taking me to space, I would hope
Space
so.
perspective, I'm on board. They clearly are not.
Oh
This
my
man's trying to go to
gosh.
space like the people in the movie Up. Like that is what I'm envisioning right now. Is like just Braxton and a host of balloons just floating into space and him just smiling the whole way up. Like no.
Can you imagine if you go just a little bit too far?
And then
then
you're
just
you're going around the Earth forever. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Pop the balloon? You're already in gravitational
full
pull.
bar.
You would enjoy the last few moments you had.
Oh
but
yeah, absolutely. But that's a great place to end the show. I totally forgot we have to do Third Strike.
go.
So let's do Third Strike. Massey, do you have one?
Not yet.
We'll be
Oh
thinking.
my gosh.
Rex, do you have one?
I don't really have an opinion, more of a prayer request.
Okay.
And that's for Joey Chestnut's toilet for the rest of the week.
I really thought that was gonna be so serious.
I was like, wait, oh my god.
What a shift in pace.
Joey Chestnut's toilet. Okay, well, my third strike is going to space sounds awesome, right? This whole balloon idea is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. No one go to space on this balloon. It's stupid, but send us $125,000 to send Brex to space. Okay. Massey, what do you got? Anything?
I guess I'm gonna have to kind of coattail on that one and just be like, that's just an awful idea. Like, just take the rocket. There's a reason they make
Yep.
rockets.
Yep.
And don't up your way into space. Just chill on the ground for now until we really get things
Up
figured
is
out.
honestly a really good movie.
Oh, great
that's
movie.
a conversation for
Great
another
movie.
time. Anyway, thank you all for joining us here on The Common Fan. We'll see you guys next
Can I
time.
take this off now?
Nope.
No.